Hello, welcome to episode 12 of Industry Spotlight. Today we're going to look at Amazon launching a new retargeting platform. We're going to talk about Facebook Marketplace expanding into home services, Facebook also testing launching an influencer marketing platform, and we're going to quickly cover Microsoft buying GitHub for $7.5 billion.
So there's been some rumblings lately about Amazon potentially launching their own display remarketing product similar to that of obviously Google, GDN and Criteo. I think it'll be using the Amazon Web Group inventory that they've got, but it's still completely under speculation about what that's going to be. But yeah, it's just another competitor in the marketplace, I guess. They've got a ton of inventory on site, so there's no wonder that they're trying to go down this route.
What other meat is on this?
Well, I think they've got enough market share to actually have their own viable product now. They pulled all the shopping ads off Google, didn't they? That was one of the main sort of hints that they were gearing up to launch their own platform. And I think Amazon's ad business as a whole grew 60% in 2017 to $1.7 billion, which is a significant amount to say that's one site.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they've not done it before, to be honest. So they offer the Amazon Web Group prospecting services, which will tap into all those different third-party sites that they're planning on launching this across. It'd be interesting to see if it's in-house managed by Amazon Media Group, or whether it's going to be a self-serve product. I wouldn't have thought Amazon, being Amazon, would let consumers and individual advertisers run with that themselves. I imagine there'll be a nice agency fee that they'll want to make out of this as well by getting access to their premium inventory as such. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that product actually looks and how it compares to the likes of Criteo and GDN retargeting features, ad roll, all those other competitors that are in the space.
Okay, so the second topic we're going to cover is Facebook Marketplace expanding into home services. So Facebook Marketplace has been around for quite a long time, sort of a hybrid mix of eBay, Craigslist, sort of auction car boot style stuff where you basically put anything that you've got lying around that you don't want anymore up for free, and people come and collect it. They're moving into finding service professionals, so things like plumbers, electricians and things like that. Initial launch is going to be US only. They are partnering with 3 existing home services providers, or home services verification services, in Handy, Home Advisor and Porch. So to become a service professional on Facebook Marketplace, you're going to have a verified profile with any one of those 3 or all 3. So it's interesting that Facebook are using those 3 select partners to verify things like ratings, reviews and credentials. That's probably quite a big boost for those 3. As it stands, this is going to not be monetized, but knowing Facebook, at some point there will be a paid version of this.
Or just ads
in some way.
Ads in line with hot listings.
Would they monetize ads?
Already.
For like, what you mean, like have promoted service providers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen. Yeah,
I wonder if there'll be a race to get, so when this launch in the UK, for example, I wonder if like Checker Trade or whatever, or My Hammer, they're queuing up to get on this, won't they?
They'll tie in with all the targeting features that they've got across ads at the minute as well. You'll be able to target somebody potentially who's looking for plumbing services or has been browsing forums that are looking for a specific job, something like that.
I wonder if this ties in with existing pages that are in that industry like that on the tools or whatever. Somehow.
They're not. Basically, they're launching this feature with no monetization, and they're not pulling in or sharing data with any of the 3 sites. So with them partnering with Handy, Home Advisor and Porch, they're not pulling in data into Facebook from those platforms either. They're just using that as a verification. That's interesting.
Cool.
Nice. So the third topic we're going to cover is Facebook has potentially leaked a look at its search engine for influencer marketing. So basically just a platform that allows you to search and find influencers on Facebook that have a large following. It gives you a quick look at their reach, their engagement, the followers. So I imagine that this is just another layer of inventory that Facebook will eventually build into its ad platform. It will allow you to find relevant influencers and add their reach to your campaigns in the same way in which you would set up a paid campaign, but targeted specifically at influencers who have already got an organic reach that you probably won't have access to through the normal paid ad platform.
Yeah. I wonder if you're going to be able to search for an influencer by, category or market or product or anything like that. It'd be interesting to see how they segment that data and whether, I don't know, you can get an estimated reach or any forecasting metrics like you can now.
The way it's positioned on here is do you create a search based on the same target audience demographics that you would set up a normal ad campaign through, and then it returns your relevant creators,
right? Okay.
Or relevant influencers. That'd be an interesting platform. I think that'll. I don't know how much impact that's going to have though, because Facebook are always saying that organic reach is reduced. So these influencers on the platform that have got that reach, how valuable that is remains to be seen, or whether Facebook will somehow whitelist these profiles to have the ability to reach the full audience.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just another incremental way of getting reach in it, really. It might work. You might be trying to aim for a bit more reach through ads, and then obviously reaching your natural limit of what you can do through paid. That might just be another avenue that you can infiltrate, I guess, to expand. It'd be interesting to see how it all integrates though, and pricing models will be interesting as well. I wonder how that'll be priced.
Do they price on reach in any way?
Not really. You can buy cost per thousand impression. You can't necessarily buy by reach, so it's CPC or CPM in the same way, but it'll be interesting to see what that will be. It might be a cost per impression metric rather than reach or frequency. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Really, through that kind of activity, you'd be looking for engagement, wouldn't you, over anything.
It's nice to see Facebook doing something about their ad product though. Maybe that's a sign of them actually making the platform itself a bit more user-friendly and a bit tighter in terms of businesses actually using it as a verified ad product, because it's a bit clunky in it still.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know Twitter already purchased an influencer marketing platform for, I don't know, about $50 million a while back. So maybe they're just following suit. I think Facebook are behind. I wouldn't say Facebook is really an influencer platform.
No, it's not really. It's Twitter or Insta are the main ones out there really for influencer, but you can get access to Insta network, can't you? I guess through Facebook Business Manager. So if it is a case that you can get influencers just across Insta, then that's a win in itself, isn't it?
Maybe it's a push towards competing with YouTube in terms of creators and because Facebook's moving more and more towards video and making it easier for people to post and create videos. So maybe they're trying to compete in that way, because influencers on YouTube are massive, huge.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
So last topic I want to talk about is Microsoft's acquisition of GitHub. Now, this has been covered quite a bit. It's a lot of money, $7.5 billion. It's been reported to be the fee. It only got valued at $2 billion like 3 or 4 years ago, so it's gone up quite a bit. But when you put this in perspective of the LinkedIn acquisition a couple of years ago, $26 billion, it's a lot of money. It's quite small considering. And a lot of developers and tech crowd are a bit upset about this because a lot of people are still hung up on Microsoft's way of the world in the tech land from 10, 20 years ago, and it's pretty, well, developers didn't like Microsoft 10 years ago, but now they've sort of changed their ways, they've had a big shake-up in the company, and they're actually the biggest open source contributor now, the biggest, if you're judging by GitHub usage, the biggest contributor on there. So there's tons of stuff that Microsoft have open sourced recently. They've got the Visual Studio Code editor, which is built on a platform that GitHub have developed. So they've got their own called Atom, and then Visual Studio Code is a competitor of theirs. So people are hoping they don't shut down Atom, because that'd be awful, because it's got a massive user base. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with Microsoft taking over GitHub. Personally, I think they've come a long way in the open source community. The Linux subsystem on Windows, for example, was a huge leap that no one would have ever expected 10 years ago. So they've really embraced open source now, and it's pretty good. If they can keep the ship sailing really on GitHub, it's going to be pretty cool to see what they do with it. Everyone just hopes they don't do a Skype with it and just destroy it, because that'd be pretty bad. But I don't think they will. I think they'll leave it to its own devices. The only shame really is that it's not a neutral player anymore, so you've obviously got loads of big corporations using GitHub, like Amazon, Google, Facebook. You don't want them to look at it and go, Microsoft right now, we need to get off there. That's why it was cool to have GitHub as a neutral player, housing all these big corporations, and obviously now Microsoft's in control of that. Hopefully there's no
bit bucket on the like.
Sour grapes there.
Come on.
Well, there was a graph that someone posted on Hacker News about there's an import feature in GitLab to see how many people have imported from GitHub, and obviously it spiked massively with people getting out of there. Essentially, GitLab, the competitor, runs on Git, same underlying technology, but yeah, so there'll be huge uptakes on all the rivals, I imagine, because of this, but it's only a thing that'd happen for any sort of acquisition of this size in an industry where a neutral player becomes owned by a conglomerate, essentially. So interesting times. I imagine they're not going to do a Skype on it. I think that'd be a massive shame if they did, but I've got a lot of trust in them now in the open source community. They've just recently done another thing that no one would have predicted 10, 15 years ago, in SQL servers now open source, and you can get that on Linux too. No one would ever have thought that could have happened 10, 15 years ago, but things have changed since the Bill Gates days when he was in charge there, so it's all changed now. So GitHub will get a new CEO out of this. So obviously it might have a few new ideas, but I don't think it's going to rock the boat too much. They've put out some really cool announcements. GitHub, Microsoft and the new CEO have all sort of put their own take on it on their own blogs, and they're all pretty well-worded pieces. The new CEO especially has put out a really good piece saying how he loves GitHub. He's been using it since year one pretty much. And he's a young chap, he's not a dinosaur by any means, so he's quite in there with the tech community, I believe. He's not got an old school vision of GitHub at all, so pretty cool. See what they do with it. Hopefully they can lessen the monetization of it rather than increase it. So rather than go all enterprisey on it and start charging people a fortune, hopefully they can rein it in a bit and sort of build the user base in the community even more. That'd be great. But essentially what they bought there is a community, because they actually had a competitor, a thing called CodePlex, which, if I'm not mistaken, was also based on Git, or it had Git integration. Just having a quick read of this article again. But yeah, they had their own, but no one used it. So they're buying a massive, really active community in GitHub, really. So yeah, and GitHub is actually closed source. So it'd be interesting to see if they open source that. I very much doubt it, but that's one thing that sort of GitLab has got over, and Bitbucket have got over GitHub, is they actually have a solution that you can take and do what you want with a fork or whatever. Whereas GitHub's primary platform is closed source. And there's actually, like, if you buy GitHub Enterprise, so like you get your own version, there's terms in there that you can't start a competitor with it, basically. It makes sense, but it's weird having a massive open source advocate company that's actually closed source, all software, but yeah, I don't think that'll change. But interesting times. It's always big news when neutral players in the tech world get acquired. I don't think it made much difference in the grand scheme of things. LinkedIn's the same, innit? When did that go through? 2016? Yeah, and LinkedIn's the same, pretty much. Had a bit of a shake-up in terms of the UI. It's all Ajax now, isn't it? But same old product, innit? Well, that's for better or worse, but yeah. Same old product, innit? Not like Skype. Skype's just totally
dead.
Skype used to be the thing. It were a verb on it, Skype. I'll Skype you. Google it, I'll Skype you. Now it's just, no one even knows what it is anymore. Kids these days, FaceTime me. So it's all...
Talking to dinosaurs.
Talking to dinosaurs. Yeah. Well, FaceTime's another topic for another day, but... Yeah, no one uses Skype now. It's a shame, but yeah. Thanks for watching. That was episode 12 of Industry Spotlight. Finally done the dozen episodes, pretty good. Still going.
Dirty dozen.
Dirty dozen, yeah. Not a baker's dozen, that's different. So yeah, comment below if you've got any ideas. We're running out of ideas. So just comment or on social or YouTube or whatever, and we'll pick it up. Thanks, bye.